This is Folk and Acoustic Music. My name is Michael Stock. I'm in the studio now with Vinnie Del Basso and Bill Ackerman. And along with Bill...
Wonderland.
Wonderland?
It's not anything.
No.
I've been called worse.
He's a John Mayer song.
No, but well, first of all, Bill, thank you, because the South Florida Folk and Acoustic Music Festival is taking place here.
Yes.
Is someone outside there? Hold on.
Oh no, they got it. He got it.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, the South Florida Folk and Acoustic Music Festival is in 2 weeks, February
4th and 5th.
4th and 5th, and you're the president of the Broward Folk Club who's putting on this festival.
Yes, with a crowd of supporting and wonderful people that work real hard behind the scenes.
Okay, well, thank you, and
You
thank
bet.
to all those supporting people who've
bet.
been doing this, because after COVID, you had really no idea what was going. So
Absolutely.
was it a difficult task to put this thing on?
And still difficult. We're crossing our fingers and toes for a great turnout. Pre-sales haven't been bad, better than last year when we ran a one day. But this year we have 2 stages, workshop stage, jam tent, all under cover of the roof, so we don't have to worry about the weather and rain. We have a kids' play area that'll be supervised, food trucks. So we're really excited about this festival and the people that we have, including local people like Vinnie and Bill, all the way to Crystal Bowersox, who was a runner-up one year on America Idol.
How did you get her?
Well, I give Lori all the credit.
Oh, that's your wife.
Lori Jennings.
Lori Jennings,
Who's
from
our
Jennings
musical
Gallery.
director.
Oh,
She reached out. You got nothing to lose by reaching out.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody suggested it, and she replied back yes. And so we have, again, people from all over the United States. We actually have an Italian lady folk singer from Italy. Tom Prasado Rao's going to be at the festival. Annie Wenz from upstate. So we really have it covered. We even have a couple of kids from local music schools and high schools doing a set each. So we really feel like we have the gamut of acoustic music, jazz, folk, country, all the way to Italian.
Well, last week I interviewed Mike Agranoff, who's a great storyteller and kind of a humorous
Yes.
folk singer. And I noticed next week we have Valerie Wisecracker, who's going to be here in the studio. I see the Kennedys and Brian Smalley, outstanding performers at this folk festival in 2 weeks. Grant Livingston, I know, and Matthew Sabatella and the Ramblin' String Band. Sarah McCullough and Rayford Stark, who was here a few weeks back. Ruth Ryan. That's a very impressive list.
It's actually about 24 headliners. Any single one of them could be a headliner, and do a show at a Saturday night someplace. And we've been fortunate enough. Lori's done a great job, and I think that there's a hunger out there for performers as well as the audience. These performers for the last 2-3 years have been held back. There's not as many opportunities to play, and like you said, we're so excited that we have a fabulous array of talent and artists.
I don't see Jennings and Keller on the list.
Well, Lori's working so hard as a musical director, and they're our standby in case and when somebody calls in and says, "Guess what? I tested positive for COVID yesterday, and I can't make it." They're always a fabulous fallback to fill in for anybody. I can listen to them anytime.
And I noticed, I don't, this is not a criticism, but Amy Carroll Webb and Rod McDonald is like the staples of South Florida.
Well, they were there last year.
Okay.
So we only had 6 performers last year, and they were 2 of the 6. So we kind of figured, there's so much talent out there and so many wonderful people. Let's give some other folks a chance this year. So we're real excited. The weather looks like it's going to be really great. Last year was a little chilly that Sunday. And certainly like to invite you not only to attend on Saturday, if you can, but if you'd like to maybe MC up on the stage for an hour, we'd love to have you.
I'm there.
Excellent.
I'm not committing to an hour. I'll say hello on stage, but committing to an hour.
That would be great.
Okay.
That would be fabulous.
We're talking about the South Florida Folk and Acoustic Music Festival, Saturday and Sunday, February 4th and 5th, from noon to 8 p.m. at the Bergeron Rodeo Grounds in Davie. And also is going to be there is Vinnie Del Basso and Bill Ackerman, who's here in the studio. And gentlemen, it's nice meeting. Have I met you before?
Yes.
Yes, I have.
You've met
Okay.
Bill.
I was here with Steve Bass.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. That was just fairly recent.
Yeah.
Okay. And what was the name of the duo you had?
Happy Landings.
Happy
Happy
Landings.
Land.
That's right.
We're still out there. And
You're still playing.
Steve is home.
Okay. And he doesn't mind your.
Hi, Steve. No.
You don't mind he's
No,
playing
actually,
here with Vinnie.
You know, we have an open relationship. That's what-
And also we are in a classic rock and roll band together called the Broward Rockers. Me and Bill.
Oh, really?
So he belongs more to me.
Okay.
and Steve has filled in for our bass player once
Yes.
in a while.
Yeah. So it's
It's one big happy family.
It's a big.
Okay.
family.
So what's your relationship with folk music then?
Good question. You mentioned Ron McDonald. I'm one of the original folkies from the second generation of the Greenwich Village people. So Rod and all those people, they basically started Speakeasy. So I used to play Speakeasy, and before that it was Folk City. So in the late 70s, we used to play Folk City, and then we needed another place. So Rod and I think Jack Hardy and a bunch of other people started Speakeasy. So I was one of the circle.
Bill, that's like, I mean, Vinny, that's one of the original people who started that revival in this 80s
Yeah.
in Greenwich Village. So you were there.
Yep, I was there, and it was great because what you would pick a number at Folk City. They use cards, and then you pick a card, and then I guess there was a number on it and stuff like that, and then they pick a random number, and let's say you were 25, if they picked 24, you were the second one on. So it was like a random draw.
Oh, I see. I
Yeah.
It
see.
started at a random number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
and
started.
That's when you started.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool.
Did
And
you spend many nights waiting for your turn at Folk
oh
City?
yeah. Oh, plenty of nights. That's why we got Speakeasy, so we could have two places to
Oh,
play
I
at.
see.
And so Rod McDonald lived right across the street on McDougal Street. So we basically used to crash there and start playing cards. And I didn't realize once you start playing poker with a bunch of friends, you could be there all night. So it was great. It just made it easier to deal with that. Not only when Rod was out of town, he'd let me crash at his apartment, so I didn't have to go back to Queens.
You
So
know,
that was
just
a nice.
I just read Ani DeFranco's autobiography, and she used to crash at Ron McDonald's apartment too, when she was a teenager, running away from her parents. But apparently, Rod was a center of force for that.
Yes, he was. He was. Him and Jack Hardy. I wasn't that close to Jack Hardy, but Rod, I was.
Yeah.
we
Well,
were-
Jack, I guess it was the Speakeasy that Fast Folk started.
Yes. Yeah.
Which Suzanne Vega and Sean Colvin and that whole group came
Yeah.
out.
Frank
What-
Christian.
How long did you last? When did you come to South Florida?
11 years ago.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
a while.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you know when you're going to be playing at the festival?
We are the opening act on Sunday, February 5th.
Okay.
So we'll be on about 12:30.
Not the opening act. You're the premier
That's it.
duo.
We're
on
warming
Sunday.
up the crowd.
We're the follow-up from
Yep.
late Saturday
The,
night.
the whole idea is start off with the best, so that the expectations,
Yes.
go from
Okay,
there.
We'll go with that.
Thanks, Bill.
Well, Vinny, how many folk festivals have you attended? Have you
I played the 2017 and 2018.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I did those two, and since I did those two, they skipped. I skipped 2019 and 2020 was 2020.
And so you've been playing with Bill at the festival?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh no,
No.
the original ones.
Yes.
No, I did it solo,
Okay.
but I only met Bill a couple of years ago, so we're now we're partners.
Okay. So apparently you both clicked, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
I auditioned for the Broward Rockers in 2019, I think. it was.
19. Yep.
How long has the Broward Rockers been around?
Oh, they've been around a long time.
Yeah.
So I just,
I started when I came down here, so
Oh.
You know what Spinal
10 years
Tap
old.
is with drummers? That's the way Broward Rockers is with guitar players. So I kind of.
it's a whole new band since 10 years ago.
Well, you started the Broward Rockers, but you were part of the New York folk scene. So
Yeah.
was there a New York Rockers? Were you part of the Rockers in New
I
York?
was actually, my band was called Stone Believer in New York.
Okay.
So the story I always tell is that when I had like 3 bands in New York that I was playing with, and I used to be the oldest member. Then I came to Florida. Now I'm the youngest member, which isn't bad.
That's good. That's
it
good.
works
you,
out.
You seem much younger now. Well, let's
right.
have a quick song, and then we'll take a break and come back to with Vinnie Del Basso and Bill Ackerman. What song would you like to start with?
It's called "Ease Yourself," and I had a lot of it already, but when I, was told that I'm part of the folk festival, I said I got to finish this song for the folk festival. So
So this is a new.
So
it's an old song that you just finished.
Yes, exactly. I got a lot of those. All right, ease yourself. Ready? Y'all look at my baby all dressed in lace. She's got the brains and she's got the face. Come on and ease yourself. Ease yourself right down. Hey mama, it's a natural fact. If you love me, I'm gonna love you back. Come on and ease yourself. Ease yourself right down. You know love, it's a powerful thing. Can make your poor heart get up and sing. Come on and ease yourself right down. Hey mama, let your hair hang low. I'll take you anywhere you wanna go. Come on and ease yourself right down. Come on, Bill. That's right. Cherry blossom on a scented wind. I can't help but follow once again. Come on and ease yourself right down. Hey mama, you know it's true. There's no one in this world like you. Come on and ease yourself right down. I'll carry your water, I'll chop your wood, I'll do whatever a good man should. Come on and ease yourself right down. Hey mama, don't you worry your head. Just do like old Bobby McFerrin said. Come on and ease yourself right down. Okay, do that now. In my sky, you're the brightest star. I hope you stay just the way you are. Come on and ease yourself right down. Hey mama, won't you dance for me? I'll play all night for you for free. Come on and ease yourself right down. Come on and ease yourself right down. Come on and ease yourself right down.
Vinnie Del Basso and Bill Ackerman here live in the WLRN studio. They're going to be Sunday morning at the Folk and Acoustic Music Festival, February 4th at the Bergeron, February 5th, that's Sunday morning.
At 12:30.
At 12:30 at the Bergeron Rodeo Grounds, 4201 Southwest 65th Way in Davie. It's folk festival put on by the Broward Folk Club. We'll have more with Vinnie and Bill after these messages. This is Folk and Acoustic Music. My name is Michael Stock here every Sunday on 91.3 WLRN and HD1 Miami Fort Lauderdale, 91.5 WKWM and HD1 Marathon Key West, 105.5 WOLL HD2 Hope Sound, 101.9 NPR for the Palm Beaches.
To the Broward Center's All Red Theater on March 12th, featuring favorite characters like Yum Yum, Nanky Poo, Coco.
Wrong mics down.
Okay.
Okay.
List of potential victims,
We'll get
as
that
well as
together.
the fearsome Katisha and the politely sadistic Mikado himself. While this new production shows how the
Okay.
Mikado.
Hey, you didn't hear that.
What?
I couldn't. What? You didn't hear that. All right. I don't think it went off the air. I'll say that just to make myself happy. Okay.
It happens.
And proudly supporting WLRN
Very
for
rare.
over a decade.
Very rare.
Proudly
Okay.
supporting
I
Wolverine
turned the
for
wrong
over
mic off there
constructing
real
the
quick.
honeycomb.
Wait, did I?
Living
It's on
Bean,
standby. I didn't even get a recording there.
Details at
Oh.
Okay. I get
He's
it.
new at this, so you
You got it.
You got to cut him some slack.
You got it though.
I got it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well,
Next time on Sundial, from the
Yeah, let me
Surfside
go on the
Tragedy
edges
to
attack
Miami
this
fans'
here in a
courtroom
second.
drama, David Ovalle has covered crime in courts for the Miami Herald for over 20 years. He's leaving to cover opioids and the substance abuse crisis for the Washington Post. And he joins us to take a look back at his career here. I'm Carlos Frias. Join
Sundial, Monday afternoon at 1 on WLRN. Okay, we'll come back in.
Team Footworks proudly
30
presents
seconds.
the Lexus Corporate Run on March 30th in Fort Lauderdale and April 27th in
keep this
downtown
close 'cause
Miami.
I'll need this for
The
a
races
cheat
bring
sheet.
together employees from hundreds of South Florida companies to promote camaraderie, company morale, and fitness in the workplace. It's been said that a healthy employee makes for a healthy company. You can enter your team, reserve your tent, and join South Florida's largest office party today at Lexus Corporate Run.
This is Folk and Acoustic Music. My name is Michael Stock in the studio with Vinnie Del Basso and Bill Ackerman, performers from the South Florida Folk and Acoustic Music Festival. Also Bill Wunderlich from the Folk Festival as well, from the Broward Folk Club. He's president of the Broward Folk Club. And they're the sponsors of the Folk Festival. And there's plenty of parking, and there's
Yeah, parking, there's plenty of parking free. You've got a big parking lot there. You know,
what's the do you charge for a
Yes.
weekend? You have a weekend pass
well,
type
we
thing?
have prices range, and we actually have the pre-sale still going on for another week on our website, browardfolkclub.com. Members tickets start at $30 a day and $50 for the weekend. Non-members are $40 and $60. And
Hey,
then
what kind of a tough decision is to come up with the prices?
it's an incredibly tough decision.
Because that's a reasonable price when
Right.
you're talking about weekend.
I mean,
You
it starts
understand.
out with, you know, how low can we keep the price and still plan on a successful festival and pay the artists, you know, of the quality that we have, as well as the rodeo grounds and all of the other costs that go along with it. So we're very hopeful. Pre-sale has been pretty good. We got another week to go. Prices go up at the gate. So
And I got to admit, Crystal Bowersox, I'm not familiar with her. She was on The Voice, so obviously a lot more people know about her.
American Idol.
She was on American Idol.
She finished second in the 9th season. She was the runner-up on America Idol.
Okay. Have you got a response? Do people know who that is?
I actually, other than the activity on her website and people that are liking the posts that are being put out there, it seems like there's definitely a lot of people who are aware of it, whether they are from South Florida and whether or not they're going to attend the festival. It's a little hard to tell. Probably about a third of the pre-sales are from people I don't know the names of,
Well,
and I can't tell who they're buying tickets.
it's nice that she will give her name to folk music.
Absolutely.
You know, because on American Idol, I'm sure she didn't say she was a folk musician.
She was pretty bluesy though. She was gritty.
Oh, was she?
I
Okay.
actually I was excited when I saw that she was on the list.
Oh, good.
She was gritty, tough singer, bluesy.
And when is she going to be performing?
She is the headliner on Saturday night, I believe, the final headliner.
Right.
And it goes along with our new, Broward Folk Club kind of mission is to be more inclusive of all kinds of acoustic music and not necessarily get away from our roots of folk and Americana, but look to jazz and blues and country and
ukulele.
So, we're actually going to have a ukulele workshop. And for any of you out there who know Brian Smalley, he's one of the
He's an outstanding
premier
guitarist.
guitar player.
Outstanding,
I mean,
outstanding.
Probably I put him in the top 5 of people that I know personally. He's not only performing; he's going to give a workshop,
good.
of fingerstyle guitar. So
Good. And he's a Florida guy who kind of keeps low key. He should be famous, you know.
he's an amazing guy. When I first met him years ago at the upstate at the Will McLean Festival, I told him, you need to start drinking decaffeinated coffee. Because he's tapping with his foot and he's bouncing up and down on the stage. aside from just fabulous to listen to and marvel at his guitar playing, he's a character. I mean, as Valve Wisecrackers is another character. So it's going to be great. We have a great lineup.
The South Florida Folk and Acoustic Music Festival. Vinnie, Basso, and Bill Ackerman are here in the studio to play for us because they are also going to be at the South Florida the Folk Festival. Vinnie, since you're here, have you met, like I think of Greenwich Village, did you meet Dave Van Ronk? Do you know Dave Van Ronk?
Yes. The funny story I had, I was playing at Speakeasy one night, and he walks into his entourage of people, and I had this one song that I thought was really good, but I wanted to impress him, and so I said, "This is the first song I ever wrote." He just turned around and walked back out. I went, so never do that. So, never try to impress someone with saying this is the first song I wrote.
Okay.
They're gonna run.
Well, is it a good song or is it?
It was a good. I don't do it anymore, but it was great at the time.
Okay.
It was great Dave Van Ronk repellent.
That's right. Do you remember other celebrities that you would know that you knew or rubbed
From the
shoulders
Village
with
days?
From the Village days? Or?
I played poker with Suzanne Vega, and she beat me on a hand. I had 3 10s in my hand, and I didn't know she knew how to play. And so I keep throwing money in the pot. I got 3 10s, right? She had a full house, and she takes the money. It was like $8 in the early '80s. It's like like a $30 pot. And it was like I could have used that money. It was like, and she won it.
I hope you stopped gambling then.
So she insisted on the strip poker rules be followed. So.
No, well that was the one time where it was like a really big pot. And I thought I was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Vinnie
Suzanne
Basso.
Vega did it.
And Bill Ackerman is here. Bill, you were playing slide with was that a glass slide?
Yeah, it's a glass slide, yeah. I find that they sound better on acoustic than metal. It's just a little bit too metallic for me.
So you're in the rock band now. What's the rock band's name?
The Broward Rockers.
Broward Rockers.
And how much work does the Broward Rockers get?
At least once or twice a month, we have a steady gig at the Cooper City American Legion in Cooper City, which is like the Davie area, and it's open to the public, and it's a great bar, and I've been playing there since I got down here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mainly covers of rock and roll.
Yeah, a lot of Rolling Stones, Beatles,
Some old R&B, some newer stuff.
And so when people ask me what folk music is, it's evolving over the years and decades. And one of my definitions of folk music is that if a song is still around 50 years after it was written, it's considered folk music. So
Amen.
that's like the Beatles now. That's like all the classic rock and roll.
One of the things that I truly love about playing at the Legion is that the audience is so interactive. They will come up and say, well, how about this song? Do you guys know this song? No, but we can learn it for next time. And they will come back and expect it. So we have to be on our toes.
You're talking about for classic rock and roll?
Yeah.
Or?
A little bit of, some people have requested some country stuff, which we tried. And some of it has worked out and it stayed in the set list, and others have gone the way of the buffalo. But
Any crossover songs between this duo here and the Rockers?
Not yet.
Okay.
We're gonna see what happens.
Well, who
this whole-
knows? This duo will take off, and the Rockers will be history.
I got me and Steve, and we got a lot of stuff, a lot of
between
things
the happy
cooking.
landings, that's exciting.
We have a lot
Okay.
of things cooking. So.
What
Possibility.
song is next?
All righty. This is called "Hate to Love My Baby."
Your song.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Hate to Love My Baby. That's an awful title.
That's what my wife says. We have to say hello to everyone, right?
Oh yeah.
Hello, everyone.
My daughter and some people that you're with are listening in from Sierra Leone right now.
Oh, seriously? Wow.
Yeah, she's
Okay, well,
over there.
hello.
And I have a
Hi,
friend.
Francesca. Hi, guys.
And I have a friend in Israel that's. I think she's finding it.
Well, for the folks who aren't listening on the radio, we're a Facebook Live on the WLRN Facebook page.
I let them know. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
All righty. Hate to love my baby. Here I go. She makes me drink, she makes me think, she makes me cry, Makes me wonder why I hate to love my baby.
Love my baby.
I hate to love my baby.
Love my baby.
I hate to love my baby, but I love her just the same. She takes me up, she takes me down, she takes my heart and pulls it round, round, round. I hate to love my baby.
Love my baby.
I hate to love my baby.
Love my baby.
I hate to love my baby, but I love her just the same. Well, I'll tell you something, people. I'll tell it to you straight. There's always been a thin line between love and hate. I hate to love my baby.
Love my baby.
I hate to love my baby.
Love my baby.
I hate to love my baby, but I love her just the same. Watch me, let me do it now. She makes me pout, she makes me shout, she makes me sigh, makes me say I hate to love my baby.
Love my baby.
I hate to love my baby.
Love my baby.
I hate to love my baby, but I love her just the same. I hate to love my baby, but I love her just the same. Yeah, I hate to love my baby, but I love her just the same.
Vinnie Basso with Bill Ackerman here live in the WLRN studio. That's a lot nicer than
Right?
than
And the title
the title leads you on to.
predicts.
Well, so that wasn't for your wife, I suppose.
Oh no. We've actually February 18th will be our 40th anniversary meeting. We met at Queens College. I was already graduated from it, and she was coming to see a local band in the Rathskeller, and I was seeing Robert Gordon on the 4th floor. So she didn't want to see the local band, and I knew her brother. I never met the family, and she goes, "Can I go up with you to see Robert Gordon?" And
Who's Robert Gordon? Should I...
rockabilly guy who just passed away. Matter of
okay,
fact,
yeah.
I actually was writing to a friend of his saying, "Can I get a autographed picture that says Happy 40th Anniversary?" You know,
Oh, no.
and stuff like that. And he passed away. He was really sick at the time.
No.
Killed him.
Well, that's,
So-
well, that's would have meant a lot to you.
Yes,
First
and
time
she and I was trying to do it as a surprise, so I had to eventually tell her that I tried. And
Were you playing music back then?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I've been playing. Yeah, when I met my wife, I was doing towards the end of my tenure at the Speakeasy in Folk City,
What brought you there? Were you from New York City?
Queens, all my life.
Okay. So you grew up in that whole scene, the music scene in
yeah.
Greenwich Village?
Yes, going into I used to play CBGBs with a band. You know,
What brought you down to South Florida?
my wife's job,
Okay.
and I worked for actually ASCAP. You allowed to say
you?
ASCAP? Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure.
Tell him who you know. He's
So,
Mr. John Prine, friend.
Do you know?
I was a friend of John Prine's manager, so
Al Burnetta.
yeah, Albernetta. Yeah, we were
Okay.
very close, and when I was working for a music company, I used to send them all the chess label blues stuff, so they would invite me to anything. I actually the most amazing thing was going to the Newport Folk Festival and Prine was playing, and for 2 days I had full access to backstage. So and the stage, I was allowed to stand on the stage. So it was like amazing,
Yeah.
just to be there with that.
That spoils you. You don't like going to shows anymore after you've been on stage.
Oh, exactly. Well, being a musician, you always wish you were on the
yes,
stage either
that's
way.
But the vibe must have been amazing. Just the
vibe,
just
yeah.
the energy of being around that.
Yeah, and the first time Prine played, I went twice. First time Prine played, his mother came, so I got pictures with his mother and stuff like that. It was so beautiful.
You wouldn't try to play a song for him. for John Prine?
No, I kept that, separate. But I tried to get my friend on his label, the Oh Boy Records. His name was Sam. His name is Sam, and I thought he was brilliant. I said, this guy's got to be it. And when I talked to everyone there, they went, we need someone who has a track record already. So they didn't take him on.
That's the catch-22, you know.
Right,
How
yeah.
are you going to do that? Do you have any recordings?
Yeah, I have a couple, but nothing really official. I brought you one just in case you wanted to have it.
You will after this. So.
We'll go after this. Yeah, we gotta put these down.
Well, I mean, if you're in Greenwich Village, in the music scene, I mean, you must have a vision. You must want to become like Suzanne Vega. You must want to become famous like that, I assume.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But there's so many variables in it and stuff like that. I remember Willie Nile was there one night, and I said, "How do you make it? How do you make it?" And he was like, "It's that's a tough question, Yeah. I think you got to have the songs first, and then the luck and everything else.
And you got to have the drive too.
Yeah.
Did you have the drive?
To a certain extent, just before I met my wife, I was looking for a wife. So that was more important to me than playing music. I wanted to have a partner and stuff like that. So
Well, that's
maybe
understandable,
that took me away from it.
Okay. Well, it's like you say, the luck of the choice, but it's perseverance, and you're still playing after all these
still
years.
playing,
And you made it to the South Florida Folk and Acoustic Music
For
Festival
the third time, so yeah.
For the third
Yeah.
time. Vinnie Del Basso is here with Bill Ackerman. Do you ever have these, I guess with Rod, these reunions of old Greenwich Village days?
Well, during the folk festival, that's when I re-met Rod again, because I live in downtown Fort Lauderdale and he's up in Delray. So
He remembered you, of course.
yeah. So
you
well,
still-
actually, I was Vinnie Dean at the time.
Oh, okay.
So when I re-met him now, it's like it's Vinnie Dean. It's like, oh, Vinnie. Yeah.
I mean, when you met Rod, he wasn't the world traveler he is now.
He was pretty. He was still. He was important in the village, even in the late '70s. He was doing his thing. He was our fearless leader. It was like his big song "American Jerusalem." I remember one night sitting there in a crowd, and we were all mesmerized, and it was beautiful. It was like we were all like, "Yay!"
So
This is
saw,
us.
You saw Rod as
Yeah.
a beacon of what could be, what songwriting could
Yeah.
be. Very exciting. Vinnie Del Basso with Bill Ackerman is here. And Bill, is there anything you want to mention? I kind of been ignoring you this interview.
No, I think I just.
wait,
I'm sorry. See, you have two bills. That's dangerous. That's dangerous.
We sounded good together, though, didn't we?
You ready?
Well, also here is Bill Wunderlich, who's president of the Broward Folk Club, who's putting on the South Florida.
That's the most important part.
The last thing I wanted to maybe say is just our website again, browardfolkclub.com. All the festival information, the calendar of performers, ticket prices, biographies, links. It's really all the information you need is right there.
Food's going to be there?
We have 3 food trucks coming. One a vegan food truck. So we think we have the food covered. People can bring their own this year, which they were not allowed to in the past.
Oh, okay.
Well, they have their own food vendor, but he was kind enough to allow us to go in a different direction.
This is like the third year at the rodeo grounds, right?
It is the third year with a gap because it was there in 2020, 21. There was nothing going on. They did some kind of virtual thing, and then I got involved, and we had a one-day festival a year ago just to kind of get the can at the top of the thing to start kicking it down the road a little. And
Well, just a side note, what gave you the confidence that you could run the Broward Folk Club?
Well, I was on the board and for quite a number of years when Arlene and Bob Singer and Arlene Bummel, and I was treasurer, and I knew that I could do it. I've done similar things. But the most important thing when it looked a little grim in 2021, when the club was actually ready to fold, and I just couldn't let that happen without an effort. And I was lucky enough with an amazing amount of help from Lisa, my wife, and some of the other folk people that stepped forward. And we put together basically a new board, and here we are, and we have a 2-day festival, and we're really, really excited.
That's
and,
great. Congratulations. And, I know how difficult it is because I was for a while with the South with the Miami-Dade County Folk Club, which puts on a show every month at Luna Star. But I know how it is, how difficult it is to put on a festival. So thank you so much for all the volunteers who are doing this. The South Florida Folk and Acoustic Music Festival is February 4th and 5th at the Bergeron Rodeo Grounds in Davie. Again, the website is browardfolkclub.com/festival. You want to do one more song, Vinnie and
Sure.
Bill? Great.
I think we might be able
You
to.
think so?
Let's see, ask 2 guitar players if they want to do a song.
Well, I mean, you're members of the Broward Rockers. How big is the Broward Rockers repertoire? How many songs?
About 85 songs at this
songs,
point.
Really? And how many songs have you two worked out?
For the folk festival, we have a good
12,
15,
12,
12, 15 songs.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of original? Any covers or
All originals.
Wow.
And we could throw in covers because we
You do
play
the
in a cover
rockers,
band.
Yeah. That's,
And when we play with the band, we play 4 hours a night. So, we
that's
play
cruel,
a lot of music.
almost 4 hours a night.
Well, we take 15-minute breaks, but yeah.
Yeah.
Every 10 minutes.
No, our 15-minute breaks usually wind up being 7 minutes because then we want.
But you were talking about Bill. I just want to say that he's a brilliant soloist in his own right, and I'm lucky to have him, help me out and play. And
Thank you.
Very good, Bill.
and he does all the lead guitar work in the band, so I don't have to learn anything difficult. He gets the difficult stuff.
No pressure.
Is it difficult for you to learn those leads?
It's a labor of love. It really
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. That's it.
If I can sit back, I can have everything right, and I hear one note wrong note, sit down again.
Oh, no.
Let's do this again, one more time.
So how much of what you do is impromptu?
A lot of it because it's so much fun to just let the music flow, and the guys in the band are kind enough to just say, oh, Ackerman's at it again. So
And we don't do anything complicated, so it gives you the freedom to experiment a little.
Were
which
you
is
a
good.
fan of? I mentioned him because he just passed away. Jeff Beck.
huge.
Yeah. Have you ever seen him in concert?
Saw him twice.
Yeah.
But he did things with guitars that no one could do, and everyone will admit it. Like, I have no idea what he did there. How did he do that? And he was the master of the Stratocaster for sure. But I tried to emulate him as some of the things that he did, but I was just happy to take number 7,806 behind the other ones, just being able to.
He's still number one with me, though.
So thank you.
It's Bill Ackerman and Vinnie Del Basso's here in the studio. Okay, one more song.
Okay,
What is it?
this is called Rome Must Fall. And once again, it's a song I started writing during the Reagan administration. And I think I finished it in 2020 sometimes, if you get the gist.
The political trend.
All right, Rome Must Fall. A pharaoh thinks he's Hollywood. He knows in God we trust. He makes the laws of bad and good, but the laws have turned to rust. The stoplights have been broken, they've shattered like window panes. The cleaners have been cleaned out, now it's hard to remove your stains. Empires rise, empires fall. No man alive can have it all. No doubt about it. Señor, Rome must fall. Nero lived downstairs from me. He had money in his blood. Had lots of friends and women too, but they cost him more than love. They say that you pay the price for everything you do. And from what I've seen in life, I know it's true. Empires rise, empires fall. No man alive it all. No doubt about it. Si, senor. Rome must fall. There are those who can believe in only what they see. The touch of material, well, that's their reality. But then there are believers who believe in the word. From one heart to another is the only way it's served. Empires rise, empires fall. No man alive can have it all. No doubt about it. Si, senor. Rome must fall. Let me be with my loved ones when the clouds come overhead. Don't leave me in a cold rain or down in some strange bed. Put my hopes on tomorrow, put my money on the line. Get myself to higher ground to see what I can find. Empires rise, empires fall. No man alive can have it all. No doubt about it. Si, senor. Rome must fall.
Vinnie Del Basso and Bill Ackerman here in the studio. They'll be at the South Florida Folk and Acoustic Music Festival, February. You'll be there both days or just a Saturday?
Just a Sunday.
Just a Sunday on
Sunday, 12:30.
That's February 5th, but the festival starts on Saturday, February 4th, with a whole lineup of acts and workshops, 2 stages. The South Florida Folk and Acoustic Music Festival at the Bergeron Rodeo Grounds, 4201 Southwest 65th Way in Davie. Information at browardfolkclub.com/festival. Bill, thank you so much. Both Bills, thank you so much for coming in this afternoon.
You're welcome.
And good
Thanks,
luck
Michael.
on the festival. I'll be there on Saturday, Sunday. I'll
Cool.
be here, of course.
bet.
But thank you so much for what you
Good,
do.
thank you. Thank you,
Thanks,
Michael.
Michael.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Keith.
Right.